If you smell what The Rock is cooking. Yeah, is that bull? Whatever it is, it's underdone. Yes, it was. Bollocks, ladies and gentlemen, who are listening here to Huge Pop Radio and Steve Smith's Rambling Reviews. The Rock was all over NXT this week because why? Well, there are big changes afoot in the WWE. It's now on Netflix, you see, and that's cheaper for me. Hee. However, I'm not massively keen on, although I haven't really checked it out. I've read online that the WCW and ECW stuff and Smoky Mountain and all the rest of that is not on there, and that would bother me. I suppose I need to check it out, but I can't be bothered. I will do later. I can't be bothered right at this moment because I'm here to tell you what's happening with NXT. And it is on Netflix. That does mean I no longer have a WWE Network subscription. That does mean $9.99 or £9.99, the sterling, is coming back to me. I'm thinking what I can spend every month with that. You can't just leave it, can you? You need to do something with it. Anyway, because it's gone to Netflix, they want to do something special, don't they? That means you're going to get title changes. You are. And spoiler alert, sadly the first one is Roxanne Perez versus Julia. Now, I've not been sold on Julia since she came here, mainly because she came with Stephanie Vaquer, really, and then you've got Zarya, who is there as well. They all arrived at more or less the same time, and what that did, because the three of them came out, the triumvirate, that sort of crowded out who I think is the real golden ticket for NXT, Roxanne Perez, your NXT champion. Lest we forget, ladies and gentlemen, not been around watching NXT lately, sadly, certainly not in a wrestling capacity. She was there at the last episode, you know, after Christmas. This is New Year's Evil, by the way. Yeah, and I'm a bit concerned and nonplussed that she's not being used enough, because she is a superb heel. And what they had been doing in recent times is they've been having her win the belt in the ring with a clean 1-2-3. That's great. It's not been so great recently. And this was a good match in that there was some nice work on the mat earlier on. There was a Perez big shot and a tope, an NXT chant. That was early. Somebody might have been, maybe someone was poking the crowd with sticks. No, I think they actually really wanted to chant that. Big superplex from Julia, and an airplane driver for a 2 count from the same person, as "This is awesome" is chanted. It wasn't awesome, it was pretty good though. There's a Perez crossface and shouts of "Come on" from her, come on! Yeah, she misses the pop rocks. I have to say that Vic was really going on about it being countered. It didn't look like it was countered. It looks like she just overshot it and slipped over it, to be honest. There are some then there's another pop rocks. Julia kicks out of that, and Perez goes straight into the Fujiwara armbar, which is just marvellous. Great segueing. But there's a mighty Julia knee and a Northern Lights bomb, and the great thing is that Perez stiffened up when she was put on the mat with that. She got the pin from it, of course, but she really stiffened up. That was beautifully sold from Perez. I hope she was all right, actually, because it looked quite serious. But really nice. Really well done. Now, it's got to suck if you are Stephanie Vaquer, really. Or even more likely, Lola Vice, her name was Lola. She was a contender, but that was many months ago. Although it's the same show. Yeah, she was a contender, but not anymore. They tried that with her and then thought, I don't know. So she's really in nothing matches now. You know the thing with Jada Parker on Underground? That's gone nowhere now. That's been done. Yeah, so Julia's your new champion, your new women's champion. And Kalani Jordan wants to be the women's champion. She's quite salty these days, isn't she? Giving quite a lot of offense in this match. So it's Jordan versus Vaquer versus Cora Jade versus Lola Vice. Her name was Lola. Yeah, alright, leave it. Done that. And Jordan tries some covers early on. Gets a double drop kick. 1 foot for each. And then a celebration after that. Alright. Plenty more time to go in this match. There's a Vice. She gets the kicks in and the machine gun kicks to Kalani Jordan. Then Vaquer flies off the top to the outside. Is it Cora Jade? No, it's Jordan. Hits a moonsault to follow up. I can do better than that on the outside. Nice Vaquer and Cora Jade traded covers. And then a sweet Olympic slam. Actually, was that from Vaquer? It might have been. Anyway, Jordan went to the top, missed, no water in the pool. And then there's that nasty Stephanie Vaquer backbreaker for the pin. She's the number 1 contender for the North American Championship. Now we see the pecking order, don't we? Ooh, that Julia! Yeah, she's been chosen, and you are now second string. Next we've got Shotzi and Dolin and Paxley versus Fatal Influence, because they're trying to keep the excitement going. Multi-person matches, go on! The crowd are a bit quiet, to be honest. Early on, certainly. There's a basement dropkick from Gigi Dolin, and then a Fallon Henley face buster. Then they're all in and they're all fighting. Shotzi misses a tope, and Vice, what am I talking about? Vic, I put an E on the end of my notes. It's not Lola Vice, she wasn't on commentary. It's quite salty to Booker T. And when they argue, I really quite like that, because Booker's got nothing to come back with at all. Well, yeah, but you said, yeah, well, you know, it's really good, I like that. Paxley gets a clothesline on the outside and runs into a clothesline herself. There's a Shotzi-assisted neck breaker, and then off the top, with the senton from Shotzi on Henley for the pin. She just pinned the North American champion. Well, it doesn't really matter, does it? You're not the number 1 contender, are you? I don't know why you got excited by that. She just pinned the North American champion, but it doesn't matter. None of them are contenders. They're not, are they? The ones in the match before were contenders. These aren't. So it doesn't really matter what happens, does it? I don't want to rain on your parade or micturate on your chips, as we say in this country, but you know, that's the way it is. Now, they've messed up the Heritage Cup, haven't they? I wondered how long it would take them to change the basic idea of 5 rounds, and you get it's the person with the most pins at the end of that time. Was it 3 pins? Anyway, the idea of the rounds and it being a pure wrestling cup title is now, well, it's just like a normal wrestling match now, is it? Well, it's for the Heritage Cup, isn't it? Isn't that supposed to be a special kind of... Oh, shut up! Yeah, that's what people generally say to me, and I know I'm right. So this is Mr. Dempsey versus Mr. King, and really, nowhere to be seen, Mr. Regal. I'm nowhere to be seen, you know. I mean, I know it doesn't sound like him, but, you know, it's an impression, isn't it? So, it's a normal match. It's a pretty good match. You know, the kicks and King punches, a shoulder block, a punch line, a Northern Lights suplex, which is lovely. Dempsey knows how to do that grappling on the mat. Hammerlock, the kind of hammerlock submission, really. There's a sweet power slam from Lexis King, and then an armbar, and then no quarter catch crew. Really excited. It's an armbar! Oh my God, I've never seen one before. Yeah. Then you've got King off the ropes. They must have discussed this beforehand. And Dempsey goes to leapfrog over him, but Lexis King's head comes into contact with both the twig and the berries, you know, the area of Dempsey, and we get the coronation. I mean, it looked a bit clunky, to be honest. It didn't look smooth. It looked like he wrenched the head a bit, to be honest, for the pin, and he wins the cup. But who cares? Who cares? Because it's not really a Heritage Cup. You didn't win it in a Heritage Cup way. And where's Noam Dar? I don't watch Raw or SmackDown. Is he on there? I miss him, you know, I really do. Anyway, I want to talk about The Rock in a bit. So, The Rock says, talk about that in a bit. But, here's your main event. And it is Trick Williams versus Obafemi versus Eddie Thorpe. Right, Eddie Thorpe is not even in to begin with. He's not around, it doesn't seem. So you've got Oba and Trick fighting together for ages. Michinoku driver and Trick on Femi gets him up, which is nice. And a super rock bottom, or Uranagi if you like, or off the top from Trick. Jumping neck breaker is nice. The slam, he gets him up again. Flapjack. Then Oba's back with a power bomb. Thorpe is there to pull the ref out of the ring because he might have got the 3 count if it wasn't for that. Then you've got Obafemi dealing with Thorpe. He gets a spine buster, and then he throws him into the corner. There's a really slow run up to some uppercuts. Here I come. Yeah, make a cup of tea. It's going to take me a while, or coffee if you like. So yeah, he gets the uppercuts in, then runs into a Trick knee, kicks out because that should be the finish, shouldn't it? Then there's a steel chair. That shot is gone awry. So it's kind of, I think if I remember right, it was Trick running into Thorpe and it rebounded on him. Anyway, there's the Obafemi power bomb, and he gets the pin. Cue to a member of the crowd, really shocked. Why? This is Trick Williams. The NXT world aren't quite sure. He's had it taken off him before. Do you remember? He was the one who was handpicked to follow Mello. And then Ilya Dragunov won the title. Then he left and Trick was really the face of NXT. And they put the title on him and they did really nothing with him. Then when Joe Hendry came in and Trick was subordinate to Joe Hendry, by the way, that is one of the moments last week, one of the moments of 2024. What, somebody else coming in, showing the NXT faithful how it's done, and then leaving to go back to Impact? Is that what it is? Oh, seems so. I mean, we've got that in a minute with The Rock, haven't we? But hang on. Let me talk more about Trick. Let me speak on this, as Conan would say. Odelay, etc. Now, I don't remind of that person's work, really. But anyway, because his wrestling work wasn't all that good, I didn't think his character was fabulous. Now, back to Trick, whose character isn't fabulous. So they subordinated him to Hendry. They put him in a ridiculous situation with Ridge Holland. He came down to meet Ridge's charisma. He didn't bring Ridge up, you know, not like that. He didn't raise him up. I tell you who did, Andre Chase. Strangely. Anyway, he then had the little bit with Eddie Thorpe and Oba. You knew he was going to be the next guy. If you're going to put the North American belt on Tony D. Sorry? Sorry, beg your pardon. I can't refuse. Oh, it's expired. You've taken so long to tell me. Anyway, you knew that Trick wasn't going to be the man. You knew really that Obafemi was going to. You can't have someone who's so dominant without a belt or trying to win a belt and not succeeding. You'd already done that. Well, you know, Tony D's better than you. Well, hang on, aren't I supposed to be the big guy? Yeah, but Tony D's better than you. You can't now say, not only is Tony D better than you, so is Trick Williams. Right, you're not the person we thought you were. It's over. Oba. So either you put the belt on him, or you don't. And then he goes away. They don't want him to go away yet. He is a big guy. And the WWE love big guys. Sucks to be Trick, because they just aren't sure about him. I don't know what they're going to do next, but I suspect he will have a programme with Eddie Thorpe. Ooh, something to look forward to. You got any Phil Collins, Eddie? You know he's on the wheels of steel, isn't he, as I say, every week. It does suck to be tricked because they're not sure about him. And they've tried twice now. Will they try a third time with the belt? I doubt it. Okay, The Rock says, know your role. Yeah, his role is to show you that actually someone who's really famous can come to NXT and make it look better. Because you need that help, guys. I really don't like it when other brand stars in the WWE superstars come to the brand and make it better. And I mean, I used to like The Rock. You know, I was around during the Attitude Era. I just think that now, for me anyway, I've seen so much of him and I've seen his acting. I'm using inverted commas here. And I know it's very personable, but I've seen so much, I'm not really too bothered now. Apparently, his chat will be the best 6 minutes. Only got 6 minutes because it took him ages to get there. And it'll be the best 6 minutes. Spoiler alert, it isn't. Yeah, the crowd do the work for him, really. And he does that insider chat. Oh, people ask me why I was nasty to Cody. And then when I was nice to Cody, people said, why are you being nice to him? I don't really care. I don't watch. Is it on SmackDown? Is it Raw? It's Raw, isn't it? Is it? I don't watch that, so I'm not bothered. I mean, I caught up on my reading during this bit, so that's good. They say we got 2 minutes. F all that, he says. Oh, so he tells us, he uses F-U-C-K. I don't know if I can say that word on this programme, you see. He says that, and then, you know, to look all mean and tough, and then says, sorry for the language. Do you know what? Either you're going to do it or you're not. Don't do it and then apologise for the language. Makes you look weak, you see, Dwayne. He bigs up Netflix, he's a salesman, and it's all... That's what he's there for as well, to sell Netflix to you. And he'll also be part of the angle with his daughter, Ava. She's the general manager. Right, before we get to The Rock, you've got one of those things with NXT where I just think, have you not thought this through? So Ethan Page is saying that I've been on this programme over the last few weeks. This week, I'm not on the programme. Well, if you weren't on the programme, I wouldn't be able to see you. I suppose he means wrestling, but actually, you are on the programme and there are cameras filming you. It's just ridiculous, isn't it? I can suspend disbelief, and I watch so much wrestling. I'm very good at that. But this, just shocking. And then here we've got The Rock coming in. I'm the final boss. I think Ethan Page looks delighted to have been chosen for this segment. And as he says, you know, he tells everybody, if you need anything, come to me. And Ethan, if you need anything, come to me. And then tells us, or tells him that Ava is the final boss. Now she needs that kind of rub, because she's been systematically downgraded and passed over in her general manager role. But do not say she is the final boss after saying to people, you need anything, come to me. No, you need anything, go to Ava. She's your general manager. Not come to me. Oh, but Ava's the real... I mean, she's the real power here. But you just told us that you were. You don't like that. She's actually the power. Well, you just told us you are. This was pretty poor. It was all flash and no substance. They changed belts. They put belts on people, but you could tell why they did it. It was really calculating. And NXT isn't very good from week to week. This one of the worst that I've seen for ages, because it didn't have any sense of fun. It had sense of getting the job done, to get on the new streaming platform, get the job done, deliver it. We can all go home and breathe a sigh of relief. Well, I did when it was over. Ta-ta.